All right, so I'm sitting here watching independent news, listening to independent news, reading it, and watching mainstream news, and just looking up and seeing all the crazy shit going on around the world, the wars. Just weird ass anomalies like in the last week, it's been 144 earthquakes just randomly all around the world. Big one in Indonesia, and just all the crazy shit, man. And just thinking. And a lot of people are acting like this shit ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? And the reason for doing this video is, at some point, because most people of color, we in tune. Like, we see the reality of shit. You know what I'm saying? We see that the world is not that great, and we feel the oppression, and we feel the foot on our neck. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna come a point that white people, y'all gonna have to become, for a second, y'all gonna have to put being white to the side and become human and join the human race, because this is what it boils down to. This is gonna be a harsh reality. You can't, white is not right. Black ain't right, white ain't right. There's no such thing. It's people. You know what I'm saying? People have to be right. But white people, y'all at a mind frame that y'all think white is right. And if it's white, and it comes from a white person, is right. If it's ran by white people, is right. And history is not showing that to be true. Like, you have to stand beside yourself. And when people bring forth real history and truth, y'all deny it, or y'all don't want to look at yourself in the mirror. At some point, y'all gonna have to look at yourself in the mirror, because this world is becoming getting hectic and crazy, and because I'm looking at the news, man. We got America is running around the fucking world destroying shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a heroin problem in America, and we act like this is an in-house problem. Like, do anybody know where heroin comes from? Iraq, comes from the Middle East. It ain't a drug. It's barely motherfuckers that can get cocaine from Cuba and Colombia and shit, and from Mexico to America. So how the fuck are we getting all of this heroin in this country? Like, the heroin problem is coming within is done through our government, and like I said, that's just one thing. And then we got wars that been started for 2 decades damn near ago, and we still in these countries occupying land and got military force there, and we acting like it's all under a good cause. Like, this is not what the scenario, this is not the reality of when America is going to these wars. We know that the Iraqi war was for resources. We know that Afghanistan was for resources. We see the shit that's going on in Syria right now. We see the shit that's going on in Libya and Yemen. All of this shit is not for what most Americans think it is really about. This shit is about resources, diamonds, gold, oil, drugs, all kind of crazy shit. We can't even fathom on this level what the reason it is. But because these politicians and the president and the government is coming to us with this reason of why we doing what we doing, and well, I don't believe it. I'm black. I have no reason to fucking believe it. But most Americans just believe it because it's white. It's coming from white people. This is, you gotta stop being white for a second, white people, and become human. You have to join, because if the world goes down, if shit goes down, we all going down. It ain't like it's gonna be spotted. Like, there go the niggas, there go the Mexicans, there go the Asians, they going down. But all white people say, no, y'all going down with us. If anything, y'all going down first, because y'all are the recessive gene. And y'all the minority. Let's be honest. Like, the reality of it is white people have never been a majority in the world. Y'all are a minority, but y'all have been led and hoodwinked and believed to believe that y'all are the majority, when that's not the case. And like I said, you have to look at history and everything. White is not right. If you look at the Indians, the Africans, if you look at Hiroshima, you look at Vietnam War, all of this shit was not what we thought it was. And like I said, it's going to be a point where y'all going to have to put being white to the side and be like, you know what? I'm fucking human. I'm going to have to join the human race and make a change, because we got to do this shit together. We can't do it just be black people, Mexican people, or whatever. It has to be everybody. Everybody got to wake up, and especially in America, see what the fuck is going on. Because like one thing about American government and the army is they're doing it under our name. You know what I'm saying? Because when these other countries have problems with us, they thinking Americans. So they thinking we're supporting the shit that our army and our government got going on. And then we wonder why. And let's keep it real. And if it's any vets on this, watching this or whatever, y'all know that I'm right. These vets is coming back fucked up, not because of what they seeing. You know what I'm saying? They coming back mentally fucked up and shit because they realize that once they over there, what they're really fighting for. Like it's no way around it. I don't give a fuck what motherfuckers say. They can sit there and lie about the shit and say it's not true. A lot of them is coming back because they spend the years, 3, 4, 5 years in countries killing people, doing whatever they do, and then it comes to a point where they realize that this shit ain't right. Like, we ain't here helping these people. We not here saving them or trying to fix their government. We're here to rob and take from these people and suck the blood out of these people. And then so they leave, they get a discharge or whatever else. They come back here and everybody's treating like the heroes and they vets. But in their heart, they know what they did was wrong. And a lot of them ain't going to confess it or whatever come out, because then you're going to have most Americans is going to have a backlash. Like, I can't believe you're disrespecting the flag and this country. And why would you think that our military was just some white people shit? You know what I'm saying? That's all it boils down to. And so they shelling these things that they seeing and they doing in their mind, and it's driving them crazy. That's why these motherfuckers is having nightmares at nighttime and going mentally crazy, because they know what they're doing is not right. And like I said, we have to white people is going to be a point where y'all going to have to, is that, or it's just going to, I mean, you can keep turning a blind eye to what white people are doing to the world. You got to think, it's only been, if you know history, white people only been in control of the world for like 500 years, 600 years. Within 600 years, y'all have destroyed the fucking world. Y'all, what y'all call savage people and uncivilized and thought colonialism was helping people, was really fucked up the world. You know, like, who said the Indians and the Africans, they was just doing just fine? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all about what y'all thought was civilization to them people in the land, but that don't mean that it works for the world. And it's clear to see within 500 years, white people have destroyed the world, because black people don't own motherfucking factories and power plants. We didn't come up with all the factories to do all the plastic. And we didn't well, we did invent the car, but we didn't mass produce it to where greenhouse gases go up and make the poles, the ice capsules melt and shit. We didn't do that. That is all white people shit. You know what I'm saying? Black people, we didn't have a hand in that. So like I said, within, and the thing is a lot of y'all lack history. Y'all don't know true history. You believe the history that was in your textbooks, and that's not right. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit is correct. That shit is wrong. And like my boy say, to the victor go the spoils, and the winner writes history however he wants to do it. But I don't mean that it was a true history. And like I said, it be motherfuckers like me to be exposing the shit, and then y'all want to say that, act like his shit is false or whatever, because today coming from the source that you want it to come from. It ain't coming from a white person. But this is the truth behind what the fuck is going on. Like, our government, our army is terrorizing the world. We are murdering. If you look into Saudi Arabia, the U.S. backed Saudi Arabia and Yemen, you know what I'm saying? That shit been going on for 3 years. It's been a fucking genocide on the hands of Saudi Arabians and U.S. Army. Look at Libya, Gaddafi. We lied and said we was going to Libya because he had weapons of mass destruction and whatever. Come to find out, he didn't even fucking have it. We went there for the gold and to stop him from building his own currency. Fast forward to right now, Syria. All they want is oil and shit. They doing whatever they can to try to go to war with Syria. I mean, the list can go on throughout time. Iraq, you know what I'm saying? Iraq. Iran, Afghanistan, all of this shit. Like, y'all have to step beside yourself and see the reality of this shit. Like, all of these wars that we said we went in because they had weapons of mass destruction wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it was. It was all a lie. Because they knew that y'all would believe anything and y'all back the shit blindly because you have in your mind that because it comes from a white person, it's right. So now let's take off your white shoes and your white hat and put yourself in a position of colored people from around the world, the indigenous people of the world, because we are the majority. Black people, brown people, we are the majority. We was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Only place that really Europeans was is in Europe. So put yourself in a brown shoe, in a brown hat, in a brown life, in a brown body, and then look at what has been done to all your people, to the people of the world, because we all one family. You know what I'm saying? Brown people are damn near all one family. So, because it's a dominant gene. And then look at from a brown perspective, the white presence in the world. And this is not no hate, I know racist. Let's just be honest. You know, white ain't right. You know, you can't. How can you explain? How can you justify killing 15 million Indians to steal some land? How can you justify killing, enslaving 100 million? Killed me. You got to think. There's a lot of slaves that was lost. Enslaving of people and building up a country up for y'all for free. You know what I'm saying? While y'all got rich, we got beat, murdered, killed, raped. It's still, fast forward to today, y'all act like it's just so long ago. You know what I'm saying? But your family's rich. Y'all not rich because y'all was hard workers. Y'all was rich because you got 250 years of free labor. What part of it don't you understand? You know, your great-great-granddaddy is supposed to be rich if he owned a fucking plantation and got 50 years of free labor of selling cotton and shit or whatever. You're supposed to be rich. Y'all not where y'all at because y'all was honest people. You're at where you're at because of murder, deceit, lies, raping, and killing, genocides, massacres. So you have to take off. Y'all go at some point in the world's history. You're gonna have to put yourself, join the human race, and understand that, you know what, we fucked up, and we have to realize where we fucking up and start addressing and calling out white people, these politicians, these presidents, and these people, these rich moguls and shit that are sitting around just blood sucking the earth, the land, the people for whatever they get. Because World War III is on our hands right now, and we as Americans, we can combat this shit and come together and call our government on this bullshit and fix shit, because they're easing into World War III with Syria, Russia, and China and shit for no fucking reason, because they just want to be the big dog, and whatever the fucking agenda is, they're using it. But they're gonna sacrifice us. These rich motherfuckers, they're not good. Their kids is not going to war. It's us common folk that sit back and bicker with each other and go back and forth with each other over politics, and because we're not educated. And like I said, it's white people. Let's be honest. Y'all sit back and go back and forth about these politics and shit because y'all not educated. It's some black people too, and it's some Mexicans. It's a little bit of everybody, but white people majority, the evangelicals, Christians, and all you Christians in the Bible Belt, and you Republican, y'all sit back and go back and forth with each other and argue and bicker and do all of this shit with each other, and not understand that who the real fucking enemy is. It ain't the common folk. It ain't us that's working at the same job together. It ain't us that the motherfuckers you see at the gas station. It's the motherfuckers you don't see because they so rich that they don't have to be around us. Them is the fucking problem. Them is the one taxing us, getting the tax breaks. They're the one that's benefiting out the war because they own the gun, the weapon companies. They own the oil companies. They own that. Them is the motherfuckers that is the problem. It is not the common folk, and we got to start bickering between each other and become one race, a human race. At least until we fix the fucking problem, then we can separate, do whatever the fuck we want. But we got to get these motherfuckers at the top up out of the way because they sacrifice everybody. Like I said, World War III break off. they're sacrificing us. We're the ones that's gonna blindly go into the war thinking we're doing a good job, and you know what I'm saying, being a good American, whatever. Our kids, our grandkids is gonna be the ones, you know what I'm saying? And these rich motherfuckers that already killed the world. You know what I'm saying? In 500 years, white people have killed the fucking world. The Pacific Ocean is dead. You know what I'm saying? The pollution and shit is out of control. It's a whole fucking island of floating waste and trash from America float through the Pacific Ocean. Whole fucking island. In 500 years, how did black people and brown people rule this world for thousands and thousands of years, and then within 500 years of the Roman Catholic Church, the Europeans and shit, everything that went from sugar to shit. Thousands of years went down the drain for 500. That's why I said y'all gonna have to stop being white for a second and join the human race, or this shit is going down. The world is going down. Army, famine. There's gonna be a lot of crazy shit if we don't join together and realize, like, hey, it ain't us, it ain't white ain't right, and it's the politicians, and it's the lawmakers. This shit, we gotta start finishing these wars and pulling out these so-called wars that they got us in, this sacrificing our kids and our family members, our brothers and our sisters. We got to do it at some point. And we got to wake up to the lies. You know, they lied to us about everything. And you cannot deny it when you look at the facts. If you read and research and you look at the past wars and the reason why we went in there, none of this shit checks out. Saddam Hussein didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Gaddafi didn't have weapons of mass destruction. Like, everything, all of this shit is a facade, and they playing with our intelligence as a human beings. Because it ain't just white people, black people. They playing with everybody's intelligence. And then it's to a point where they don't even give a fuck. They say, you know what? The citizens ain't even got no fucking say. We're driving this car. If they say that they want weed legalized, if we don't want it, it ain't getting done. We got to wake up. And white people, y'all got to stop being white for a second and join the human race. As simple as.